The clearest image of Mars ever taken. It kinda looks like a huge, sharp object scratched it while passing by at very high speed. Pretty sure it's the scar Sargeras left when he tried to cleave Mars. I just want to note that people calling Valles Marineris the Grand Canyon of Mars aren't being quite accurate. While water definitely did flow on Mars in the past, it would not have been nearly enough to create a canyon of this magnitude. The currently accepted theory is that the Tharsis region, you can see it to the left with the solar system's largest volcanoes, accumulated so much mass on one side of the planet that the crust couldn't take it and literally cracked under pressure. Fun fact, if you stood on the floor of Valles Marineris in the middle between the canyon walls, you would think you were standing on a flat plane. The canyon is so wide that the rims would be over the horizon. Other fun fact, there are Mars spacecraft entry profiles that have the spacecraft diving at hypersonic speeds so low into the atmosphere that a person standing on the rim would be able to look down into the canyon to see the spacecraft streaking across the sky below him at 5 kilometers per second. I find it super fascinating that I almost scrolled past this image. It took me a second to realize that it's incredible that we have so clear images of another planet. People wouldn't believe it just mere 50 years ago, and yet imagine 500 years ago at Copernicus' age. But to me, for a second, it was just another photo of Mars. I beg to differ. There is a whole documentary about an astronaut being stranded on Mars in HD quality. Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the cabal on Mars. So let's get to taking out their command, one by one. Wellthatsucks. From what I can gather, he commands the siege dancers from an Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon. He's well protected, but with the right team, we can punch through those defenses, take this beast out, and break their grip on Freehold. Gonna have to put an NSFW tag on it after Elon Musk finds this. I can't wait until images of all of the other planets are this clear. What few are talking about is that this picture has seriously significant impacts on the future of colonization. Because whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the cabal on Mars. So let's get to taking out their command, one by one. Wellthatsucks. From what I can gather, he commands the siege dancers from an Imperial land tank just outside of Rubicon. He's well protected, but with the right team, we can punch through those defenses, take this beast out, and break their grip on Freehold. What's those three large dark brown spots on Mars' left side? Volcanoes on the Tharsis Plateau. Olympus Mons is over there as well, just past the horizon. They are called the Tharsis Montes. From bottom to top they are Arsia Mons, Pavinus Mons, and Ascraeus Mons. They are giant volcanoes, and there is another named Olympus Mons just over the horizon out of this picture. Interestingly, this area of the Martian crust sits over a hot spot, like the one under the Hawaiian Islands on Earth, but because Mars does not have active plate tectonics, the same area of crust has sat over the hot spot for billions of years, leading to these absolutely huge volcanic formations. Most experts actually believe that the Valles Marineris, the big canyon in the middle of the picture, formed when the tremendous weight of the Tharsis bulge caused the crust to split open. I'm not satisfied until we have an image as clear as Google Maps with Street View included, so Martians are freaked out when they see someone is taking pictures of their driveway. We'll actually have something close to that once the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is done. This looks gorgeous on my 2K HD phone, gonna make it my wallpaper. That honestly looks amazing. Space is beautiful, no. If you squint hard enough, you can see the last warmind. It's weird to think that Earth is probably just as marked up by meteorites, but we don't see the impacts in photos from space, with all the water and life and so on. Anyone else kinda able to see something like Jabba the Hutt? This looks delicious. I have a problem with food. Asteroids crates hold special minerals and bacteria. Let's go get Calvin. Just putting this out there for those interested in great hard sci-fi about Mars, Kim Stanley Robinson's trilogy, Red Mars, Green Mars, and Blue Mars. Dynamite stuff, which envisions an eventual total terraforming of Mars into an ocean planet. Is it me, or does that look like a big battle scar across it? The two craters on the left side of the image, are those recent impacts, galactically speaking? The Valles Marineris is the coolest shit ever. Grand Canyon looks like a tiny crack in comparison. What I think are, craters on the left, odd that they're in an almost perfect line. That's a graze wound, possibly from the claws of an intergalactic phoenix. Doesn't look clearer than the last time this was posted? Can't wait for the unrelenting reposts taken from my backyard with my iPhone 11. So what caused that huge ravine? Or what is the pervading theory? Is it just me, or does that look like a giant starship crash? Wow, it looks like so much fun, guys. Let's all ditch our lame planet right now. Am I the only one seeing a ghost screaming face on the right side? It needs to taste some of our greenhouse gases. The McDonald's can go right there, yup, in the middle. I don't get why Earth only has a dozen craters visible from space, but every other terrestrial object in space has thousands. Our atmosphere protects us from a significant amount. Earth has a thick atmosphere and vast surface oceans which produce surface weather conditions that drive relentless wind and water/ice-based erosion processes. Active plate tectonics also recycle the face of the planet at longer time scales. Can someone pinpoint where Curiosity rover is now currently in this image? Can someone pinpoint where Curiosity rover is now currently in this image? Wow, that's the clearest image of Mars ever taken. Why does Mars look like it's making the expressionless face? The fuck? Why doesn't dust or birds or asteroids or glare or something make this picture blurry? This is incredible. It was taken by the Viking spacecrafts. Now if only we could get a clear image like this of Olympus Mons. It amazes me that we get so much coverage on a 3-lens iPhone, yet I hear almost nothing about the amazing engineering that it takes to produce an image like this. Am I the only one that sees a face on Mars? The previous Earth, soon to be what Earth will look like, next stepping stone, Venus. See if you can zoom in to get a good shot of the exclusion zone, because whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the cabal on Mars. So let's get to taking out their command, one by one. Wellthatsucks. From what I can gather, he commands the siege dancers from an Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon. He's well protected, but with the right team, we can punch through those defenses, take this beast out, and break their grip on Freehold. Wow. For the first time since I was a kid, I just thought about a favorite planet. If they terraform Mars and colonize it, kids will look at Mars like I looked at NYC. Some grand place I could move to when I turn 18. Except now we are talking other planets. I know it's just a picture, but seeing it this clearly makes it seem so much closer in every way. The day we colonize Saturn is going to be a shit show. Since Saturn is a gas planet, how/where do you plan on colonizing it? Does anyone know what is speculated to have created that giant scar? Two theories. First theory is tectonic plates. The valley is the rift between two massive plates on Mars. Over time, the rift grew larger from erosion and cliff sides collapsing. Second theory is from flowing lava. This scar is called Valles Marineris, if you want to read more about it. Whether we wanted it or not, we've taken a clear picture of the surface on Mars. I want anal beads that are accurate to scale, comparatively, of the 9 planets. Edit a word. Internet never fails to deliver. Have fun getting Saturn's rings up your ass. Looks like it's frowning at Earth as it knows we are destined for the same fate. How come Earth isn't pocked full of craters like Mars and the Moon? Is it because we have an atmosphere that mostly burns up meteors and they do not? Yes, but many of our ancient craters and pockmarks are filled with water, so instead of seeing a hole, you see a lake. Earth's way more geologically active than Mars, which is to say, it's geologically active at all, and tends to churn apart all but the biggest craters in a relatively short time. We've probably taken at least as many big hits as Mars has. Yes, but many of our ancient craters and pockmarks are filled with water, so instead of seeing a hole, you see a lake. I like how planets look like marbles with intricate designs. Beautiful. Now let's pepper this rock with asteroids and nukes. Beautiful. If we assume that Mars was once a watery world, and there are signs of constant bombardment of meteors all over the planet, it is safe to assume that they all happened after the water evaporated/left? Is there a period where there was more meteors/asteroids, or are these craters just evidence of a steady rate of hits over a very long time? Not sure exactly how to phrase the question, but it seems like any water must have left a long time ago. Wow, that guy must have a nice setup. Think/telescopes can help me take a pic like this? Excellent shot. Sure beats my Walmart telescope. Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. Beautiful image. I would love to visit the future colony. That giant canyon runs across the planet like a huge scar. Very cool picture. Aren't the ones from the surface even clearer? The biggest Cybro tennis court in the galaxy. How was it taken? It almost looks like those are dried up riverbeds running around it. Space has always been and will always be the most beautiful thing ever. The three spots in the left in the image looks like the planet was shot with a giant laser. It's so strange that Mars isn't flat like the Earth is. /s. It's just sleeping. Why does Mars look so smooth and Earth has varying landscapes over hundreds and hundreds of miles? Or does it just appear smooth? Oh wow, they made Mars from Destiny into a real planet. Looks like Clendagon to me. What is the reason for this stripe? I really hope I live to see people walk on the surface of this beautiful red planet. Looks like the robot guy with the big head in Hitchhiker's Guide. I can't wait to read papers published about the big impact scar Mara has. I want pictures from inside that Grand Canyon looking thing. This post needs more gold. What an incredible image. What are the two brown circles that look like either craters or tornadoes? Are they mountains? Might be volcanoes. I believe Olympus Mons looks a bit like that. They need to download the Green Planet DLC, it'll add more to the gameplay. P. Are those three dark spots to the left from meteor strikes? Volcanoes on the Tharsis Plateau. Olympus Mons is over there as well, just past the horizon. Map. Oh yeah, they're very distinct. Thanks for that. How tall are they? 45,000 to 60,000 feet at the summit depending on which one. Quite tall. I must not have been paying much attention, but those three volcanoes along the left side seem relatively fresh. As clean as it is, it looks like a ball of dust. I wonder if water really did carve those canyons over time. Damn, this image really is fascinating. Why do I see a flower growing in Puddleham? Does this side show Olympus Mons? If so, where? That they have shared with us. Forgot the rest of the title. It's crazy to think that this will all be commercialized and owned land in 100 years. That poor rover is so lonely, he has nobody, he's on his own. Thank you. Beautiful. Sure. It looks exactly like the image from the Quake game. Don't you worry, Mars, when you finish going through puberty, all those zits will go away and you will be so beautiful, and everyone who used to make fun of your face will regret it. Looks like a huge spaceship crashed sideways onto the planet. Looks like a great place to live. Glad we have a second home available to us for when we destroy this one. I want a house next to that lake. Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. This is a misleading title. It's a composite picture of Mars. What's the security deposit for a place like that? Every time we get another super clear picture of something I thought we already had great pictures of, this is all I can think of. I'd like to think that the tragic event which left the scar on the surface of Mars wiped out the life there, and the Earth rover that they had sent to explore the nearby planet had some Martian bacteria on it, starting the life on Earth. What caused this area where you can see a duck shaking off water from its head? Ah, it's got a boo-boo. Clean. All I see is a planet-sized amount of red dirt. Asterisk clearest image of humanity's best hope ever taken. Imagine with enough data, we could compile a planetary life cycle. It's cool to think about if planets in our universe and beyond have a natural expiry date. Are those storms on the left? Or craters? MCRN for life. Hashtag the expanse. Dang, the clearest image ever. It still looks opaque to me, but still incredible. Mars is so small. Its large features almost look kind of ridiculous compared to the other rocky planets. Makes for a pretty incredible wallpaper on my iPhone X. I sometimes wonder if perhaps the Mars atmosphere was destroyed by an asteroid or something like that. Hit it hard and the ejection blanket or whatever it's called covered the atmosphere, and its distance from the sun just had a different effect compared to what it would if something similar happened on Earth. Like where our atmosphere was able to recover from huge collisions, the Mars atmosphere was not able to recover. Once Mars lost its magnetosphere, the solar wind was able to strip away the atmosphere. Same thing would happen to Earth as we didn't still have ours. Venus keep its atmosphere because it's extremely thick and mostly CO2, which is very heavy. Okay, cool, thanks for that answer. At first I thought it said the clearest image of Mars I've ever taken, and I was seriously curious as to what kind of equipment you had on hand. It's crazy to wonder what some of these geographical landmarks will be named someday. Why is every other planet round but Earth is apparently flat? Like fuck, what if we could just go there? On. Definitely looks like a ruined planet, just saying. If you look closely, you can see Martians. That's definitely the ass crack. What does the happy side look like? I also see a frog holding a sword pointed at an exploding castle while Godzilla watches in the upper right. Looks like I got a new lock screen wallpaper to go along with my Earth home screen. We've stepped into war with the Cabal on Mars, so let's get to taking out their command one by one. I don't know why, but for some reason this makes me think of one of those 70s style couches and wood furniture. Can't wait to build a base there and open a portal to hell. Sometimes I sit and wonder if, given the opportunity, would I go and be one of the first humans to travel/colonize Mars? What do you guys think? What is with the dark spots around the equator? Wouldn't it be cool if we could have a photo of Earth that's this caliber? I bet those are some impressive canyons. Were they made by water some unspeakably long time ago or something? That'll be our new home once we fuck this one up. I call the area near the edge of the crater. Does Earth have the same strike marks from asteroids? Looks like someone's disappointed face holding up a peace sign. Looks like the Demon King riding his stallion into battle. I'll be honest, I think NASA can buff that out. This and the photo of Saturn from a few days ago are really amazing to see. Is it me? Or does this look like a big meteor magnet? Craters all over the place. I ready to buy some square kilometers for future vineyard. Not that I can't appreciate the scientifical and emotional value of that image, but looks a lot like a deep to me. Is this the canyon that the astronaut in The Martian drives his rover into? A day this canyon will be the border between two countries. Is there a gallery with just pictures that the Mars rover took? I used this exact picture as a reference when I got my tattoo of Mars. My thought was if I was going to put Mars on my body, it better look like Mars and not just a rust-colored circle. This photo has a lot of detail and valles marineris, so that was perfect. Why does it look like a plane has flown into the side of it? Edit, a big ass plane. Has the Mars rover been to the valles marineris? I'm learning so much about Mars today. Thank you. Does that look like a mega large ship hit the planet square? You can't fool me. This is a magnified Captain Crunch sphere. Yes, let's live there, it's much better than Earth. Saved it to compare with a terraformed version in the future. Can I ask, was this picture taken from Earth? Only reason I ask is because Mars is currently behind the sun and pretty much impossible to see ATM with the naked eye from Earth. So I'm assuming a probe took this picture? Thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe and comment best Reddit stories for more Reddit videos.